Hey everyone, it's Carissa Wiley at sprinkledwithglitter.com. Thanks for joining me today. Today I am sharing a card project that features brand new products from Pinkfresh Studio, and I wanted to share a few tips and tricks for using grip mats. Now this will apply to any photopolymer grip mat, but I will be featuring the brand new Pinkfresh Studio Easy Blend grip mats in today's tutorial. I want to show you the products that I'll be working with. I am going to be using the Bloom Buds product suite. This includes a stamp, a press plate, a stencil set, and a die set that are all available, as well as the Blossom Medallion, which has these beautiful florals along with this beautiful frame, also available in a stamp set, a press plate set, a coordinating die set, and a coordinating stencil set, and you can mix and match these products as you see fit. I'm going to start out by turning on my Glimmer Hot Foil platform, and I'm placing the Bloom Bud press plate on that platform as it heats up. I will put my plates over the top because I find that helps kind of keep the heat in as the platform is heating up. Now, once the platform is fully heated and I've put it through its timer, I'm going to remove the platform from the base, and I'm going to take this over to my Platinum 6 die cutting machine, where I will add my champagne foil with the pretty side facing the pretty side of my press plate. Then I'm going to add some hammer mill cardstock along with the thin shim and the spacer pad, and I'll run that through my die cutting machine. And now I have this beautifully foiled floral image. Now, if you wanted to create this same card and you didn't have a Glimmer Hot Foil platform, you could also use these press plates with the Better Press letterpress system, or you could use the stamp set and do some heat embossing instead. Now, I'm going to repeat this foil process for that frame from the Blossom Medallion set, along with a sentiment from that same set. So I'm going to heat those up. I'm going to remove the platform from the base. I'm going to add the champagne foil with the pretty side facing the pretty side of my press plate. Then I'll add my hammer mill cardstock, a thin shim and spacer pad, and run that through my die cut machine. And now I have this beautifully foiled sentiment and frame to go on my card as well. Now, my first tip for using a grip mat is to store it properly. There's a couple ways to store it. I like to store mine in this zipper pouch from scrapbook.com. The other way that you can store it is placing the acetate that comes with it back over the grip mat as you store it. This will keep extra dust and debris off your grip mat and help keep it clean so that it stays nice and sticky. Now, another tip I have for using a grip mat is to make sure that the cardstock that you're using is smaller than the stencil. Now, you don't have to do this, but this is going to allow you to place the cardstock on the grip mat and not use anything else to hold your stencil down, because the stencil will have area around the outside to stick to the grip mat. So I'm going to line this up with the outline of my foiled image, and I'm going to press it onto the grip mat. You're going to want to make sure that you press your stencil onto the photopolymer grip area of the grip mat to keep it in place. Now you'll notice that as I'm putting these down, I'm not doing any tape, I'm not doing any magnets, I'm not holding the stencil really in any way to keep it in place. My fingers are on it, but I'm not holding it in place. Another thing I really like about a larger grip mat like this one is 8.5 by 11 inches. I like that I have room along the edge to place my ink pad. The ink pad will grip onto that grip mat and keep the ink pad in place as I'm inking up my brush. So I don't have to hold the ink pad in place. I don't have to have a separate apparatus to hold my ink pad in place. I can just press it onto the edge of this larger grip mat and it will stay in place as I rub my brush across the surface of the ink pad, so I don't have to worry about anything. Now, something unique about the Pinkfresh Studio grip mat is that it has a solid outer border that helps keep the grip mat on your work surface. And then it has this checkered pattern throughout the center of the grip mat. That helps you release it from your work surface without too much of a pain. Because if you have a solid photopolymer grip mat on a glass surface like I'm working on, you know that pulling that up can really be tricky. It can really stick. But this grid pattern or this checker pattern on the back of this grip mat allows it to release a little bit easier. But the wider border, that solid border around the edge, will keep it in place while you're working. Now, when I'm done with this, I'm just going to place it right back in that zipper pouch to store it. And now I'm going to work on die cutting my elements. Now, at this point, I thought I didn't know if I really wanted to ink blend this Blossom Medallion element for my card project. So I'm just going to take and use the coordinating dies to die cut this out. For the Blossom Medallion, there's an outer die and an inner die, so you can choose whether you want to use one or both to create different looks. And I think that this makes this a very versatile frame piece. Now I have that die cut, and I'm also die cutting the sentiment. And then finally, I die cut my floral element, that Bloom and Buds beautiful stem for my card project. Now at this point, I decided I did want some color on that Blossom Medallion. So I'm going to bring my Easy Blend grip mat back out. This is the 8.5 by 11 size. And I'm going to place this Blossom Medallion onto the grip mat. Now this grip mat is nice and sticky, but it doesn't rip your paper when you pull it off. And that's another thing I love about using a grip mat is that it can hold like more delicate pieces like this frame in place as you're doing your ink blending. So you're going to see me grab the coordinating stencils from the Blossom Medallion stencil set, and I'm going to add some color. I'm starting out with Cherry Blossom on kind of these floral, I don't know, they're more like shell pattern pieces on the edge of this Blossom Medallion. And then I'm going to place stencil number 2, and I'm going to blend with Lush Forest. Now you saw me start with a larger ink blending brush and then move to a smaller one. The smaller ink blending brushes help me to kind of concentrate the area where I want it a little bit darker and create some shading. Now I will wipe down the stencil before I remove it, but watch as I remove this. My piece of cardstock, even though it's kind of delicate and intricate, has stayed in place as I have worked on this piece. Now, another thing you want to do as you use a grip mat is you want to really roll the grip mat away from your piece of cardstock as you're removing it. Don't pull your cardstock up because that can cause some warping of your cardstock. Now, I cut the outer piece only of the Blossom Medallion die set from some vellum as well. So I have that piece ready to go behind that frame piece that I created. And now I'm creating a card base out of some dark green cardstock. This is Rainforest cardstock. By the way, I will have links to everything that I'm using in the YouTube description below. So if you're looking for something in particular, be sure you check there. I also grabbed my basic banners sentiment die set from Pinkfresh Studio. I use these banners all the time, and I happen to have one in there that was already die cut from some champagne glitter cardstock from Pinkfresh Studio. Now I also have the 6.5 by 8.5 grip mat mounted here in my MISTI. In addition to this larger size grip mat that fits in your larger size MISTI, Pinkfresh Studio has also released a smaller size grip mat that will fit in your mini MISTI. So whether you're using the large size MISTI, or I should say the regular size or the standard size MISTI, or the mini MISTI, Pinkfresh Studio has a grip mat that will work for you. These grip mats that are designed to fit in the MISTI will have the solid border around the outside as well as that checkered pattern through the middle. And I find that this checkered pattern really makes for a nice grid for you to line up your cardstock. I'm using the Bloom and Buds stamp set now to stamp with Lush Forest ink onto this dark green cardstock. I stamped in one corner and then I rotated my cardstock 180 degrees and stamped in the other corner, and then I removed that. Now let's talk about cleaning your grip mat. Now, a grip mat is made from photopolymer. It's the same material that your photopolymer stamps are made of. So you can use the same things that you would use to clean your photopolymer stamps to clean your grip mat as well. I'm using the Pinkfresh Studio Easy Clean Stamp Cleaner here and a microfiber cloth to wipe down my grip mat because I did get some ink on it. And keep in mind that these photopolymer grip mats may stain over time, but that will not affect their stickiness. If you're finding that your grip mat is not sticky, I recommend giving it a good clean with some Easy Clean Stamp Cleaner, or you can take it to your sink and use a gentle soap on it and clean it with some warm water and some soap. If it just needs a quick little wipe down, then I find a low lint baby wipe or even a stamp chamois works really well to give it a quick clean. But if you are finding that your grip mat is not as sticky as it was before, chances are it just needs a good cleaning and all of that stick will revive. When you're drying your grip mat, make sure you're not using anything with a lot of lint to wipe it down. I recommend air drying it instead. So now I'm kind of adhering some of my elements together. I've adhered the vellum layer to the back of that frame, and I also have an extra layer of the sentiment die cut from this dark green cardstock, and I'm just offsetting that slightly using some liquid glue. I'll also add some liquid glue to this plain white die cut that I created using the Bloom and Buds die set. And I'm just stacking up my floral element to give it a little more weight and a little sturdiness on my card front. Now I have all of these pieces kind of adhered together, and I looked at this and I thought, this actually looks really good without the frame. And I was tempted to leave it just like this, just that glitter banner, the sentiment, and the floral piece. But in the end, I decided to go ahead and use the frame. But if you wanted a little more simplified version of this card, you could definitely just create that foiled element for the center and do a little stamping around the outer edges, and this creates a beautiful card. Now I had everything just where I wanted it, so I picked it up and I added some liquid glue between the layers, and now I'm using my reverse grip tweezers to hold that in place as that glue sets up on the glitter cardstock. I also added some foam adhesive behind my sentiment and placed it on to the banner, and now I'm using some foam adhesive to place the floral element over my frame piece. Finally, I'm going to add this to my card front. Again, I used some foam adhesive behind that frame element and behind the floral element to place this on to my card front. And I'm going to finish my card off with a few embellishments. I chose the champagne glitter drops from Pinkfresh Studio, and I'm using some liquid glue and my dual tip embellishment tool to place those onto my card front. And when I'm placing jewels, I really do like to kind of mix the sizes that I'm using, tuck them into elements that are already there, like my sentiment and my floral arrangement, and I like a couple to be on the card base as well. So here's my finished card project. I absolutely love the color combination on this with those dark, rich greens, that beautiful orange, and that touch of that cherry blossom. Man, I do not use that cherry blossom color enough. So here's a look at the finished card project. I really hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed this project, and I hope you enjoyed the tips and tricks for using your grip mat in your workspace and all of the ways that you can use it. If you have any questions, I would love for you to drop those in the comments below, or just let me know what you loved about this project. As always, I will have links to the featured products used in this project in the YouTube description below. So if you're looking for something in particular, be sure you check there. You can also head on over to my blog today. I'll have that link in the YouTube description below as well. Over there, you're going to find more still shots, more information, a complete list of supplies, as well as some information on a blog hop that's happening today to celebrate this brand new Sunlit Manor release from Pinkfresh Studio. You don't want to miss all the inspiration and prizes over there. Thank you so much for watching. I'm so glad you're here. I hope you found a little joy, a little light, and a little inspiration. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. I will see you soon, and until next time, I hope you have a fabulous day.